Now that we have completed the safety portion of our presentation, let's move on to reliability. When it comes to the distribution department, reliability is summarized in one key concept: inventory control. As in, how do we know what we have? How can we prove what we have? And what are we going to do to go that extra mile and gain greater control over our inventory? A year ago today, our freezer did not look anything like it does now. We had just started to produce some 40-odd new products, each with their unique specifications on ingredients, packaging, and palletizing. Who would have thought that this would end up causing just a little bit of confusion? So what was the problem? We did not yet fully recognize each product code, each product's appearance, or the hundreds of tiny details that went into producing each of our retail products. We were a plant struggling to produce as much as she could and ship all that she could produce. Our material handlers were not accustomed to scanning so many different product codes into the freezer, and our shipping guys were not used to shipping so many different product codes on the same truck. Half of these products, mind you, at the time, were still on test status and could not always be scanned to the orders going out. You can imagine why this would cause us some trouble in inventory control. Nor were we used to receiving and storing several different types of packaging, raw materials, and ingredients, each with their strict allergen specifications. So what's changed? 3 things: visibility, traceability, and just plain experience. As of today, we have honed in on our procedure to ensure that everything we produce in a day's work is scanned to a freezer location along with the correct product code, date, and time of production, like we once did with a fully A&W plant. Unlike a year ago, we try to keep nothing on the freezer floor. This allows for full visibility into the freezer. We can drive from end to end and pick through product high and low. We can now, with confidence, pull up our inventory in PFS, drive over to the exact location, et voila! Find exactly what we are looking for where we thought it might be. Today it takes almost half the time it once did to load a Maple Leaf truck. The same thing applies to our ingredients and packaging. In the past year, we have installed a ton of racking in our dry storage areas. This has allowed us to receive packaging by PO, quantity, and production date to ensure proper FIFO of ingredients. It also allows us to scan ingredients to location and consume them much like we would raw materials during production. This keeps our inventory in check and our downtime to a minimum. The racking also allows for full visibility into what we have. We can keep everything off the floor, allowing for safe forklift maneuverability and easy access to materials. So now that we know what we have, how can we prove what we have? As much as our beloved Cargill accountants would just like to take our word for it, for some reason they seem a little bit hesitant. In order to keep a better eye on our inventory, we do nightly cycle counts on our raw materials, a rotating bi-weekly schedule of counting through our ingredients and packaging, and a quarterly cycle count on all of our finished goods. And the results have started to speak for themselves. We are losing less stuff, dumping less stuff, and spending less money on buying stuff thinking it's stuff we don't have. We now also have a new position at a plant, an inventory coordinator. A year ago, the inventory was being controlled entirely by purchasers in a different country based on consumption models that were not accurate. Today, we have several controls in place to bridge the gap between theoretical and real life. We have fixed our consumption models and are updating them as required. We have a local eye on what is actually in-house versus what is required, and we know what we're looking for. We know what can go wrong, we know what will go wrong, and we have learned where our strengths and our weaknesses lie. That brings us to the end of the reliability part of our presentation. I'm sure by now you have a lot of questions, so feel free to ask away.
Created using Powtoon.